So you've built a fantastic website in Breakdance, and now you want to understand how users are visiting your site. Well, look no further than AnalyticsWP. AnalyticsWP empowers you with the knowledge to understand the pages visitors travel to, what sources they came from, the steps leading up to them submitting a Breakdance form, how long they spend on a page, and even how far they scroll down a page. This is Kevin. Let's start this journey. First and foremost, let's activate AnalyticsWP. Within the WordPress dashboard, let's navigate to the plugins page. We already have AnalyticsWP installed, so let's go ahead and activate it. And there we go. AnalyticsWP is already working with Breakdance. Now let's go to the AnalyticsWP dashboard, and we can see that we've already had AnalyticsWP active on this site for a while. In the last 7 days, we've had 896 visitors with over 9,000 page views. But we would like to understand our website a little more. Let's start with form submission journeys, the first integration feature Breakdance includes for AnalyticsWP. Let's check this out by going to our contact page, and we'll open this page up in Breakdance. Once open, we'll move down to our contact form and select it. We'll now focus on the form's actions, specifically the store submission action. When AnalyticsWP is active, you'll be able to see the journey a user took when they submitted a form in Breakdance. The great part is that there are no settings for this. Just add the action, then Breakdance and AnalyticsWP will do the rest. Let's check out how this might work for a user. We'll start by opening a private browser where we're currently mimicking an existing user who is viewing our website. Let's follow them on their journey where they will visit several pages on our site. They'll scroll down a few pages and then ultimately make their way to our shop page. After viewing one of our products, they decide to go to the contact page with a question. The user starts filling out the contact form with information about themselves and then asks a question about whether something comes in neon pink. Now that our user journey is complete and the form is submitted, let's examine it on the back end. We'll go to Breakdance and then form submissions. Then we'll check out this user's form submission. We'll see that they're asking if we have a shirt in neon pink, but we have no idea what shirt they're referring to. So we'll go back to our form submissions page and review the user's journey. With our journey loaded, we can see that our form submission event is marked in yellow. Now at this point, we can deduce what actions they took before contacting us. We can see that the last page the user visited before they contacted us was the brown hoodie for men product. Great. We now know exactly what product the user was talking about when they contacted us. With that figured out, let's explore the user's journey further. If we examine when they visited the About Us page, we'll notice another action stating that the user reached the subscription section. This is another integration feature that we'd like to cover, the AnalyticsWP element. First, let's head over to our About Us page. We'll open up the structure panel, and then if we go to this section right here, we can see that we have an AnalyticsWP event. Let's select the element and view our triggers. There are two options, scroll into view and time active on page. Our current element is using the scroll into view trigger, and we have a label that says made it to subscription section. So this event is just monitoring whenever a user scrolls down to this part of our page, and then it activates it. The second trigger is time active on page. This trigger includes an option to set the number of seconds a user must be on the page before the event is added to the user's journey. Let's test this trigger by going to our homepage in Breakdance, add a new AnalyticsWP element, and then put it at the top of our page. Then we'll set the trigger to time active on page. We'll set the seconds to 10 and the label to user has spent 10 seconds on page. With our trigger set, we'll pop over to the front end. Now let's wait 10 seconds. All right, let's go back into AnalyticsWP and load our user's journey. If we go to the bottom of the user's journey, we'll see our timing event right here. Perfect. These two triggers utilize the AnalyticsWP Developer API. Currently, Breakdance integration for AnalyticsWP only uses these two events. If you want to use other AnalyticsWP events, you can do this easily in Breakdance with a code block element. Let's quickly create a way to track a button click by heading over to our homepage. and we want to track when users click on the Shop Men button. To get this working, let's first select the button. Then we'll go to the Advanced tab, and then we'll update the button ID to Shop Button Home. Great, let's save our page. The next thing we want to do is head over to our AnalyticsWP Developer docs, and right here at the top of the page, we have a basic usage example on how to track a click. So let's go ahead and copy that. And now we're going to head back over to Breakdance. We're going to come to the top of our section here, and we'll add a code block element and place it at the top of our page. Next, let's paste in our JavaScript. And now let's go ahead and click the expand icon to open up our editor. Now let's modify the code to meet our needs. First, we have the AnalyticsWP Event button click function. This JavaScript function enables us to instruct AnalyticsWP to log a new event. Each event has a unique identifier, which we can modify to whatever we prefer. In this case, we'll leave it as it is. Next, we have a button ID. This is where we define what button we'd like to use to log the event. We previously assigned the ID Shop Button Home to our button, so we'll use the same ID here as well. Then we have button text, which is the text logged to AnalyticsWP. So for this case, we'll make it say something like a user clicked the Shop Men button on the homepage. Great, let's go ahead and save that, and now let's test it on the front end. Now let's click the Shop Men's button on the homepage, and perfect. Let's return to the WordPress admin area, review the user's journey, and verify that our events are updated correctly. And great, we can now see the user's click event within our journey. With all that set, we've now seen several different ways that you can integrate AnalyticsWP with Breakdance and take your website to the next level.